Hello guys, in this video I'm going to do some work on this DELL E6220. Okay, so what I intend to do in this video is obviously tell you the specs, upgrade the memory, bought a charger because this thing didn't come with a charger, so I will also show you its specs, put Windows 7 on this thing, upgrade it to Windows 10 so we have a Windows 10 activated copy, and then give it a really good clean, and hopefully see that the battery lasts a long time, although that isn't always the case with second-hand laptops. So, firstly, the specs. This is an i7-2640M at 2.8 GHz. It has two slots of DDR3 laptop, obviously, memory. It has two sticks of 2 GB of memory. So we will be replacing one of those with 4 GB stick. So we will have 6 GB, which is for a small laptop like this that mostly will not do heavy work, will be way more than enough. And we have a 500 gigs hard drive, which will stay in place, but I will show you how to change it if you need on yours particular laptop. Sorry about that. So let's get to it. And yeah, because I've got this, this is exactly how I received it, with this screw opened and with this flapping in the breeze. So yeah, if yours is not opened up, you undo this screw, slide this down and take it out. This is how I got it, but luckily I don't think anything got damaged in the transport. And yeah, if you are married and you have children, this is your Friday evening entertainment with a beer. So let's get to it. Hopefully I will finish this before the beer affects me. So normally before opening it up, undo the latches for the battery and remove the battery. Next, to upgrade the memory, I don't even know which one of these two is slot 1, so I need to take them both out, and hopefully we have some markings. So this is DIMM B. It's written right in there. So I would like to keep a stick of 2 GB in this memory slot. So I will just put it back. You put it at an angle. Come on, go in. If it actually wants to go in. Okay, it's at an angle, it's in. And then you push it down. Make sure you do not rip the small capacitors and resistors from the memory. That would be bad. Really bad. Okay, so I'm going to replace the stick from DIMM A slot. As you can see right there, it's DIMM A. And let me just show you the specs of both of these memories, just in case you need to buy some, you know what you are searching for. Okay, so align the notch on the memory with the one in the slot, push it in at an angle and then push it down, and it's locked in place. Both of them are in position. Everything is fine. I should clean this fan, but I will do that tomorrow morning and outside on the window, because if I do it inside I will get a lot of dust in here. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, let's remove this from the charger so we have that ready to go. And next I'm going to show you how you can upgrade the hard drive. Obviously Phillips screwdriver, and start undoing the screws in the corners. In my situation it seems that there are only 2 screws used, because this and this are actually missing, so I will see if I have any that will fit. Okay, to take it out, I'm thinking normally you should be able to slide it like that, but it doesn't really want to slide, so I think this is the first laptop where I don't have a really good clue on how to get the hard drive out. Maybe it's the type that you actually need to lift the back of it before you are able to take it out. So let's try and lift. Nope. This is actually rather weird. It's not unexpected, honestly. Pulling tab. Okay, pulling where? How? Okay. Well. Now this is new. This is the first laptop where I see this L connector. Never seen it before. Okay. So this thing latches in place. Something like this. Let's get it out. That's neat, a neat little trick. So to replace the whole hard drive, you need to remove this screw, and 2 of them on the other side, but one is again missing. But this one I will not be replacing, because I've seen hard drives hold in place with only 2 screws a lot of times, so that is actually good. But here I am going to put at least 1 of them. But I'm thinking I will do something else. This screw from this corner will be going in here. Okay, and now we have 2 screws here, 1 screw here, which will keep the end of the hard drive fixed in position. That the fact that this one is missing doesn't impact anything. Let me just move the camera a bit lower. Okay, so if you want to change the hard drive, remove all the screws on the side and the hard drive just comes out of from the caddy. It's that simple. You put the new one in and put these 4 screws back in position. And as this connector goes, you simply slide it out. So the L-shaped connector just slides out from the hard drive. And obviously you take it out from the old hard drive and put it in the new hard drive, and you are done. And then put everything like this back in position. Let me just make sure everything is clipped in place in here, and it seems all is okay. And we are back in. I rather like this. So I said I'm going to put a screw back at this end. So I've put one in, another screw right here, and I need another one here. This I will let it without a screw. But yeah, be back in a second. I need to search some screws. Okay, was able to find a screw in my pile of laptop parts from teardowns, but the head of it seems just a tiny bit too thick, so I'm going to use it at this end where it is actually recessed, so the chances of it interfering with anything are way slimmer. Okay, we are done. This is good enough for me, so let's continue. Just had to take a sip out of that beer. Okay, so at this point this thing can actually go in, but it just doesn't seem to want to go in. Okay, now it is actually in, and this is why this wasn't in position. Somebody over tightened this little screw and it's not holding anymore. It all makes sense now. Yeah, so that screw hole is damaged. Let's try and get, this is just some gooey sticky stuff. I'm going to try and get the metal bits out of that screw hole, because we do not want any pieces of metal inside this laptop. Yeah, I think I overdid it just a bit, pushed it in too much, and now I cannot get it out. Okay, I got it out. Let's throw that part with the metal on it and do it once again. Okay, that seems to be clean. Now I will stop the video to investigate what I can do to fix it. Okay, dug around through all of my collection from teardowns, unable to find anything that is remotely similar to this screw. It's really weird. It also has a spring on it. So what I decided is to remove the spring, keep it for future projects, and simply put something in this hole that would actually lock this into position for the time being, and because it doesn't have the spring anymore, it will not have the tendency to come out. And this screw doesn't actually hold the cover down, it just makes sure that it cannot slide down. This cover slides and then comes out. If it were only to come out, then this would not be enough, but if it only needs to hold enough so this doesn't slide, yeah, this is good. So it's not ideal. I'm not sure I really like this solution, but again, I couldn't find anything even remotely similar in size, because this also has to be really thin, because otherwise it will stick out from here. So yeah, too many variables, too many constraints. That's it. You know what, let's do this. I'm annoyed and I really don't have other solution. I have this thin adhesive tape, which I will use together with the screw. Okay, I've put a ton of this double-sided tape everywhere, so it will be unable to slide down. Again, this is not holding it so it cannot lift, it's holding it so it cannot slide, and that is way easier to do. And yeah, if you are thinking where did you get that double-sided tape, nobody has that around. Well, some balloons were stuck one next to the other at my daughter's baptism, and because I am the way I am, I never let anything go to waste, so I took the double-sided tape off the balloons, and as you can see here, I'm using it to hold this laptop together. Yep, probably not a lot of people would actually do that, but I really do like to reuse things and keep stuff running when others would simply give up on it. Okay, it's a bit more difficult now because once it hits the double-sided tape, this will try to stay in place. So I need to make sure that it is where it needs to be. Maybe the good idea would be to slide it starting at the top. Yep, way difficult to, way more difficult to do now. Obviously, if you want to open up this thing once again to upgrade it, yeah, it will be a bit of a pain. Heh, and it did actually work. This thing is starting to hold. Yep. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. So my idea worked. That's perfect. And this screw, honestly, it's almost completely unneeded at this point, but I will just put it in because it was there to begin with. Oh, way better, and I'm not even faking pulling on this thing. Yep, this is here to stay. Job done. Some of you will say it's just a botch, or how you call that, and it actually is, for lack of a better solution at this point. And it will for sure do the job for for a lot of time without issues. Okay, we are inside the BIOS and everything seems okay. I just saw that we are missing the, I don't know, the cover on one of the buttons here. So yeah, need to find a solution for that also. I'm going to use some of this foam that you might have seen in many of my videos. It's actually pretty close in color to the other button, but cutting it perfectly after not a few beers, after only one beer would still be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, it doesn't look perfect, but it gets the job done. Works. Okay, I did the BIOS settings the way I like them, then rebooted and pressed F12 to access the boot options menu, and now I'm booting from this USB drive and I'm going to put a Windows 7 image onto this laptop, which I will then upgrade to Windows 10. Okay, so the activation first failed because I didn't have a connection to the internet. So I plugged this thing in because I already have the driver for this thing, but I don't already have it for the Wi-Fi in this laptop. Okay, so Windows is activated. Obviously I forgot to press the record button. Maybe the beer has something to do with it, most likely. So now we can actually upgrade to Windows 10 because we have a Windows 7 that is activated. You simply search for media creation tool on Google, go to the first link. I didn't even bother installing all the drivers for this laptop because Windows 10 will install them by itself. Then download the tool now. It will download it. And then continue with a few simple steps inside this tool when we will run it. So let's run this thing. I can close everything now. Should pop up any minute, and it did. Click accept. Select upgrade this PC now and click next. And it will start to download Windows 10, but I decided that I might actually be better if I install the driver for the Wi-Fi in this laptop, because it's way faster than the one in this USB thumb drive, stick, whatever. But Windows doesn't find it automatically, at least not Windows 7. So yeah, I don't want to search it myself. I will just wait to download the Windows 10 with this slow USB. Oh well, it should finish until tomorrow morning. Also, I should change the user from W7 to W10 before we install Windows 10, so it can actually create its folders directly with the new user, so I don't have more than one user. That should be it. Yeah, still 0%. Slow. Yeah, so I found the laptop in the morning being shut down, and actually not shut down, in standby, and I think Avira did its thing, and when it updated it needed a reboot, and it did that reboot. It's asking its usual thing is to ask if you want to reboot, and you have a 10 minutes timer, and I think after that 10 minutes timer it does reboot by itself, which is the most stupid thing that I have seen, and about the same thing that Windows 10 does, rebooting even if you don't give any feedback. So yeah, obviously I will need to download again, so all the progress made last night has been completely cancelled by Avira. So that kind of sucks, but there's nothing that I can do. And another nice thing, from last night to now, Microsoft released a new media creation tool version, so the old one will not run. I need to download the new one right now. Yeah. Okay, I don't really get this. The media creation tool from last night was version 1809, and the one from this morning is 1803, and it's smaller in size. Usually newer software is larger and obviously has a higher number of the version, so I've got no clue. Maybe they pulled back that autumn update. Was that even released? Because some people were complaining that it completely wiped their user files from, I don't know, my pictures, my documents and whatnot. So maybe they just pulled back the newer version. I've got no clue, but this is what we are rolling with this morning. And we are finally ready to install. So let's click on install. As you can see here, keep your personal files and apps. That is what we want, and install Windows 10 Pro. Install it. Let's do this. And this will take an hour and a half, 2 hours. Maybe if you have a really fast computer and SSD, you are lucky and it will only take half an hour. But I've seen a lot worse than that. Okay, so the install finished. Now I just have to make some quick settings, and that should be it. As you can see, Windows 10 is activated, which is exactly what we wanted. This thing sees the full 6 GB of memory, which is really good. I wonder about the drivers, if everything got installed. Well, not yet, but way more are already installed. And I'm thinking the network, yep, the network is installed, so this can be unplugged now. And I'm going to connect through turned off. Manually. How do I, what? I might need to give this thing a restart, or because it is installed, but it might need a restart to actually work. Or do we have a shortcut on the keyboard for the network? I don't really see one. Maybe on the case somewhere, a switch. Hey, there is a switch. I wonder if that is it. Well, at least Bluetooth appeared, so that is the switch for at least Bluetooth. Yep, that was the switch. So we have a network switch right in here, and it was in the off position. So let me just connect to my Wi-Fi now. Okay, everything is working. Let me just remove this icon, get rid of OneDrive because I don't really use it. Quit, close, whatever. What do we have here? Nope, dismiss. Let me unplug the charger and see if the battery lasts, although the light is really dim. So let's increase that to 75%. Yep, and we only have one partition here, so I need to access control panel. To create, whoop, that's not good. To create the partition in the unused disk space, because in my clone I only used 200 gigs from the 500 gigs that this hard drive has. So as you can see here, we still have unused space. Okay, let's get rid of Edge. The new partition should come up any moment, hopefully. And my dehumidifier just powered on, so I needed to stop it. Refresh maybe. Yep. Hip hip hooray. Okay, and at this point I will need to run disk cleanup on C drive, because we have the old Windows 7 installed on it. Also clean up system files. And this will take a little bit of time. Okay, still calculating, and the battery says about 3 hours and a half, which is pretty decent considering that this thing is doing stuff, so it has lots of disk activity and the CPU is not idling at least. So yeah, that should be decent battery life for this thing. I'm thinking that in reality it's even more than this, than 3 hours and a half. So yeah, let's continue. Okay, so this thing finished. I'm going to select everything that it allows me to, and see how much space we can free up. Ooh, 30 gigabytes. Well, that's not too shabby. Yeah, 30 gigabytes of space we will free up right now. It will just prompt once again that we must agree that we cannot roll back to Windows 7, the previous installation, which I do agree. And again, this will take a bit of time for it to delete 30 gigabytes of small files. All drivers installed, everything working perfectly, Windows activated, whatnot. I'm going to give it a really good clean with furniture wipes, but it's not going to be done on camera because my camera is almost full and I don't want to risk not being able to film the end of the video. And it's finished and running perfectly, and I must say I really like it. I wasn't expecting it, but I really do like it. It's quite compact, decent keyboard, decent screen. Yeah. With this i7 CPU and with 6 GB of RAM, 500 gigs hard drive, awesome. So, thank you very much for watching. Give the video a like, check out my channel and maybe subscribe to it. And as always, see you in the next one. Bye.